Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 2-0 lead. One of our most 2-0ist of 2-0 leads we've ever seen in HGC Korea. Very one-sided first two games. Ace looking improved, taking a series at the beginning of early last week. And now what happened? This is just strong drafts with poor coordination, weak rotations, bad macro. Incorrect timings on taking team fights, invading the wrong camps, getting totally obliterated by the Tychus pick, trying to run the Diablo, never portaling in the early game, letting Tychus get his level 4, then getting blown up again.
I'm having my big Monkas moment.
Monka Z, the new and improved.
No, please. No, Wolf! That is not the right one! The original. The authentic
original.
one.
Yeah?
Yes, it is a perfect expression of how I feel right now.
I don't know much about that Toad emoticon. The feels good dude and all that stuff.
Poggers! That's...
I thought it was proggers.
That's what BlossoM is feeling right now. But Ace, everything is not working for them. Nothing is working for them today in the other way.
No.
What? Let's talk about the things what they have to change. Why are they struggling?
Well, they're struggling because they're picking high-tier drafts without understanding how to use them. They picked the Johanna in the first game to no great effect. They were unable to do anything besides just peel the Punishers. In Game 2, they went for the Medivh Sonya Diablo comp just because it was left open. They gave Hanzo over on BOE, Malfurion, and Tychus against the Diablo, banning the ETC. Got to draft adaptively. You have to draft intelligently. You cannot draft for tiers, because even though Reddit will tell you that such and such hero is broken, I can't believe my team didn't do this or what, or ban that, or they didn't pick this. I wanted them to pick, you know, Sonya, but they picked Thrall, and so it's all wrong. But
do not listen to Reddit.
You have to draft to your strengths and against your opponent's weaknesses. You cannot just draft to the meta, or you're going to get outclassed by teams that understand how to counter draft you and outplay you. They have better mechanical skill, better understanding, and more experience in Heroes of the Storm than you do. And so when you pick one of the hardest comps to use in the entire Heroes of the Storm universe, the Diablo Sonya Medivh, you get outclassed. That's what happens. Can we expect them to come back and win the series? No. But what I want to see at least is a more dynamic draft here.
Starting from the draft, I want to see improvements, some changes, not an ETC ban again from Ace. They're thinking a little bit. Has been Maiev, was Medivh in Game 2. What else do we have? Let's think. Maybe just grab that Genji and try to run away with it. They have been pretty good with the Genji instead of that Greymane. I feel like Greymane is their card when they don't really know what to do. Let's just pick Greymane because that's a hero that we can always play and it suits and it's balanced.
I mean, you can also run, just draft Malfurion here. Great for delaying the altars. Strongest support in this meta. Drafts well with anything. Just taking the Medivh here is, I feel, a fundamental mistake of Ace's drafting. They do it again.
And it's pink. Oh,
well, temporarily was pink. Maiev's taken now against them. And it will be Malfurion. So now they've got a comp that's dynamic, that can be rotated with anything. Medivh is a strong first pick. We saw it first picked with BlossoM before, but they have one of the best Diablo players in the world, Gondar, on their squad. They've run this comp before it was meta, before it was cool. They're like the meta hipsters, and Ace just keeps picking it because it seems strong in terms of results and statistics, but in terms of their play, they cannot execute it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down. Calm down a little bit. Release your anger somewhere else.
I'm not angry, I'm disappointed.
Very disappointed indeed. I'm pretty sure lots of the viewers are saying the same. But Maiev, Malfurion, they picked this already. Why? Because BlossoM already knows that they're going to go towards that Diablo instead of that Tyrael. And Tyrael is the best counter against the Maiev. They have went towards the Uther pass this time. I'm liking this adjustment a little bit better. Uther was banned last time, so it was tough. They're even banning the Diablo now.
Yeah.
I don't think that was even necessary.
I don't think it was necessary. I think banning the Tyrael could have been strong too.
Mm-hmm.
But now we can see BlossoM pick up a plethora of great heroes to pair with the Maiev. Junkrat is one that usually comes to mind. Pretty good on this map too for pushing lanes. Will be the ETC now that he's left open. And they're going to grab Hanzo actually, so not going to go for the Junkrat. And they have the potential to now just run a responsive soul laner. Probably the Malthael, given that it's Sonya on the other side. But they want to see what this final pick is first, because Dahaka is also fantastic here on this map, given the less mobile composition of Ace that lacks globals and lacks wave clear. It's really just Sonya that can help deal with some of Diablo's split pushing. Or sorry, Dahaka's. Too many D heroes. There's too many D heroes and M heroes in this game. We gotta do something about it.
Especially the M's. With the V also. But BlossoM having Hanzo, they have a solid line. And great CC pair-ups actually. Even with the silence from the Twilight Dream, will be perfect to combo up with the Cage. And Uther can only save one. Of course, they will have the Circle of Protection later on. Might not be the greatest tool. Again, Grey main. But in this case, I think it's better because they have Uther. And changing their tank pool. Because Diablo was banned, of course. But going towards that Anubarak, which is very highly picked from KCB.
Anubarak's somewhat redundant with this composition, but he can be quite strong against the ETC pick. The reason why Anubarak's so strong is because he has great CC when paired with the ability to charge in. But because Portal's already given him that opportunity, he's probably going to feel like he's not using his Burrow charge as much as he would like to. It'll mostly be used for extra retreat when Malfurion has roots around the portal. So it's a good hero for KCB, as you mentioned. It's one of his comfort picks, but a little bit weak given the composition, I think. Malthael going to be the winning matchup against Sonya. They take the safer pick rather than trying to go into the Dahaka to try to force things to happen, which can be countered oftentimes by really good zoning with the Grey main. So, the solid pick overall. The Malthael coming through. Gondar on his ETC now, finally. We get to see it. It was a more adaptive draft by Ace this time. It was more intelligent. It was safer, but now they have this half composition that's half Dive Grey main and half Medivh with Anubarak. So it feels like it's half strong, half comfortable picks, right? It just feels like, okay, Witcher's on the Grey main again probably. He hasn't played any other heroes tonight. Anubarak, KCB's comfort, but doesn't suit the composition. As you mentioned, the Grey main does better here with the Uther, but let's see how effective this ends up being. Good for controlling camps because they did ban the Tracer too. This is normally Tracer's building pulse bombs, grabbing those sapper camps.
I think with Anubarak, with extra tool of escape in this case, may work better with the portal. Diablo has been having big troubles trying to escape from that entangling route. And they do have Malfurion once again. So it's going to be very tough placing that portal. Maybe saving that up and using that only for an escape could be a better option.
Yeah, that is one way to think about it. This feels like if you think about it that way, though, you're really limiting the value of what this hero can do. And you've drafted it first, and you're just kind of saying, well, it's okay. Like, the Medivh pick isn't horrible here. I'm like, well, you first picked him, so I hope he's amazing.
Oh, hero, if he didn't get into that portal, there are so many skills from BlossoM that will actually stop the members from Ace from going into that portal. The Umbral Bind, the Face Melt, and even the Entangling Root pairing up with all that. So you gotta be careful. BlossoM seems like they're really prepared against the Medivh pick. They're bringing everything and using it tonight against Ace.
That Pursuit of Vengeance coming in for Modern Life here as well, so just trying to get Tether cooldown resets here. Kind of a weird pick. I don't think we've ever seen it in Korea yet. It's just normally the Q build. Wiz playing with fire here, does get away. Trying to bait them in. Rush. caught. Hanzo's coming up. This is going to be... Oh, he misses it. And Gondor actually misses the slide. I think he might get out. Oh, body blocks here from KCB, but the face smelt knocks him away. Still not quite enough damage.
Sloppy.
Sloppy, a failed rotation from BlossoM. It could have been an easy kill, but they just kind of messed up the execution. These things happen.
I think they were trusting each other too much that someone would connect the damage or the CC, but neither one of them did their job in that chase, so that won't be a kill. Still a great chase, and they will control some out of the macro as long as they don't lose the sappers on their own. So I think Ace is going for that invade possibly.
Heading over here, Modern Life just used his E, so I have an awkward situation. Dudu's in position though. They need to be careful about overextending versus this Anubrog pick, though. There's a lot of different ways that can go wrong for them pre-10. Gondor very aggressive here. They want to get their Sapper camp before this altar phase. That's the idea, but I think the invade was too well executed from Ace. They're actually on it, though. Ace was doing so good at denying vision here and preventing rotations. Now they're coming over a little bit late. Nasong rotating down. Modern Life going in, gets another tether here. Portal is up, but the root is down. Finally, everyone gets in there, but by the time they do, they've taken too much damage. So the invasion's a failure, and they're going to need to go and hit the healing fountain before we go into this altar phase.
It is not as bad as what happened in Game 1 and 2. They didn't lose any members, they took lots of damage, and it's going to continue over. Another game is caught. He's in Luther, cannot escape.
Yep, and he fails to prevent the channel. So his life is wasted. Totally a vain sacrifice. And we are going to see even the invade of the top camp. You guys can see play on the mini-map.
I think
Might
Sonya
actually get the steal.
I think Sonya has been working on it quite a while. And they've been just trading the wave. Because no one else is coming. There's a big 4-man rotation in the bottom mid. Just waiting for them for that time to actually push into the top lane.
Yeah, Wiz denies her from grabbing it. She gets too low. I think probably 1 or 2 of those minions are actually dead, so if he actually gets another good trade onto her, he's probably going to steal it for himself. That's why I think we're seeing the Medivh rotation up mid, so he can be a little bit closer and potentially come and grab that rotation there. BlossoM looking for an invade here. Just checking right now is Modern Life. He's not actually going to commit to this. Good positioning by KCB and Hero means that they cannot steal this. Tons of CC coming through. They want to commit to it anyways. Portal here denied onto KCB. Modern Life comes in. They are going to lose the camp. While BlossoM is. Ace secures it. Could have gone worse though.
In the meantime, Sonya starts the camp again, but it just becomes a trade of wave, and you can't really do too much unless you have a member coming up and helping you. And in the meantime, Ace has been losing in this macro fight most of the time. So waiting for that rotation from BlossoM seems like the right way to go. Sonya has to be careful when he comes down.
Yeah, Wiz taking a ton of damage here, just totally cut off by Hero and Rush. He's just going to tap and head back down, but look at the position here at Modern Life. He's going to look for the cutoff here onto KCB with an Umbral Bind. Tosses in a big one here, gets 3. He's going to have to back away now. Even the Treant getting involved in this fight. Gamey's super low. Look at that power slide. This is going to be multiple kills here, even with Uther's Ghost trying to keep everybody alive. It's not enough. Nasong going to go ahead and channel this. And again, we are going to have another one altar phase by BlossoM. This time they're a level ahead. Not going to be able to get a bell tower just yet, but we're getting close. We can take this Sapper camp, maybe even a second one. That might have actually been a kill had they realized the root was going to hit there. Look at how quick Dudu can clear this. Next one's up in a minute, so not going to be the double just yet. Dominant performance here yet again, G-Clef from BlossoM.
I feel like so far they have been rotating better, in a way. But either commit Sonya all the way to the bottom and try to make something happen As a 4-man, it's really hard with so many displacementing skills from BlossoM. The portal has not been too effective, actually taking quite a lot of damage every single time. Now this I like a little bit. With the spy into it, they're taking damage, and Unubarak is also coming with the rotation.
Okay, he uses last rites, interestingly enough. That's not going to save him. Does get blown up here, but because they get the bell tower and they actually are going to trade a kill, I don't think this matters too much. I think it's actually totally fine. Ace cannot get a bell tower, and in fact, BlossoM can look for a triple escort here. Hero's trying to soak mid, yeah, but they actually need to get down right now, or they're going to lose this. They're going to lose 3 shots onto their core, and if they do come down, BlossoM is likely going to steal both of these altars. It's kind of a lose-lose situation here for Ace. Sure, they got the top lane pick, but it was much less significant, much less impactful. Oh my god, Gondar is so good at this ETC, just make it very difficult for Hero to leave, losing most of his health bar there, trying to get out.
And because Ace does not have a Diablo, it's going to be Polybomb this case.
Yep.
BlossoM coming in. The Sonic Arrow will interrupt.
And Modern Life has to jump out here with the vault. Look at that arrow doing all that damage. Polybomb here going to be temporarily impactful. But look at the bot push, man, as well. Those are about to go through, those 3 shots. All 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And they're going to get this altar. There's the last rites. Nearly finishes off Rush. The Umbra Bind does connect, but he does get out with the protection. Nasong trying to snipe him with Moonfire. Not enough damage.
Seems like Rush may be able to escape, but Hero dies. No more protection coming in. Gondar also very low on mana.
Shield coming up here. Gamey getting a lot of damage onto him. They're just too low to contest this anymore. Looks like Dudu's going to look for a scatter arrow to scout. Don't want to channel it just yet. I just want to delay while they push mid. Finally, Witcher goes bottom to try to deal with that bell tower. Another scatter arrow delay.
This is something else that happens in Towers of Doom. If you know that you have a very, very high chance of winning, not just because of the scaling of the level, but in terms of the draft and how you have the position, just keep the altar, make sure that the other team can't really macro, and try to force the team fight over and over until you have a lot more advantage into the game. And that's why BlossoM was trying to delay that a little bit.
Now they're going to try to defend this altar. All the work that Witcher just spent to try to retake this, which cost them the altar phase, is going to get wasted if he can't actually take this. By the way, Master's Touch did not finish when Medivh just died. Now he lost all of his stacks, so this is a disaster, to put it frankly, with everyone at home. Just controlling this, waiting for the next altar phase, continuing to soak top. Sonya's coming down.
But way too much poke. And due to having that great range onto the auto attacks, they have to be going bad. I know they want to take that bell tower back. It's very low, as you can see on the screen. But if you get never close to it,
yeah, you have to hit it to kill it. It doesn't just die on its own. They're gonna go ahead and take this, control this sapper camp. Medivh hovering around here, but there's nothing you can do to steal it. Wiz, meanwhile, taking the second one. They just want to grab 6 shots here if they can. Next altar phase is doubled, so they literally can end the game if they're able to get all of these objectives all at once. Easier said than done, but Ace has not really been putting out much of a fight this series. They need to be careful now. Gondar was their target, but not actually committing. Witcher going to try to turn this around here onto Modern Life. Gets the cleanse.
Trying to get the space so that they can actually take care of the sapper, but that's not the only thing they have to do. KCV gets pulled in by the cage, will barely go out.
Looks like they're going to deny all of these sappers from going in.
But it costed them a lot.
Yeah.
Divine Shield and much of their HP.
First altar being channeled right now by Wiz. So everyone's so low HP like you said. Gondar looking for threatening power slides here. Okay, gonna get 10 shots in. Still, this bell tower controlled by BlossoM. They can collapse onto it now. Ace cannot win this 5v4. I don't know what they're going to be able to do if they can't do this. Okay, they are going to go ahead and cocoon here. Gondar gets blown up. This is the fight they've been looking for. Modern Life looking for a big tether. Polybomb going to continue to stack here. Circle of protection, very difficult to deal with. Wiz all alone and caught. Portal to chase. He's going to have to hide behind this bell tower. Does get taken out. But Ace is down to 5 core health now. They need to make sure they get even more out of this. Looking for the kill on the Dudu. It's over the wall here. Nasong continue to prevent mounts. Really cool plays here by Nasong. He is going to get taken out here, though. And the portal is going to make this a double. So a full team wipe for Ace. Finally decisive. The first time they ever were able to coordinate an attack.
The first time ever, and they're down to 5 HP on the core. They got the entire full wipe, so they need to make this push as fast as they can. Try to take the Bell Tower down on their own. But ETC is already here. Maiev is coming. I think it's so... If Sonya was here, I think it's a lot... They had a lot better chance of taking the Bell Tower. But they were concerned about the big macro also, which was going to be taking care of the wave of the Bell Towers from the other lane. And they're leading in experience. That was a questionable distribution of the resources.
Would agree. BlossoM has the ability to win the game now, though. Down a talent tier, down a level, but that's not stopped them in the past from winning fights like this. Showing 4 members here. Ace is just going to look to put all 5 to the top bell towers because they have to get at least 2 or they lose the game. BlossoM going to grab this now and try to grab control of this bell tower. Hanzo's going to probably delay this. They're hoping they can get the 5 shot, but no, not even going to delay it. It's never, ever going to happen.
A single Sapper that may be available very soon, and the boss will just finish the game. Every time this happens, it's a single core health left for Ace. They have to be looking for a miracle here. They have 16. They are out-leveling them at least.
Always a small victory.
You know when you're watching esports at home and you're thinking, oh, that shouldn't have been done. I know I can do better. I can do better. That's not the right choice. That's kind of how we feel right now when Ace is making these kind of macro decisions.
Yeah. It's a little bit... It's sad because I know they're capable of more, and they have shown us throughout this tournament better than what they're showing us today. They're going back to old habits, bad habits tonight. Going to take control of this bell tower, it looks like. They better take control of this bell tower. If they walk away with 1 health,
they want to, but they have to be careful. If they lose 1, it's the end of the game.
Modern Life going in deep here. Very aggressive. Knows positioning of Wiz. He's looking for a lot of extra damage here so we get a last rights finish off. Modern Life gets this Q resets. Here's the big stun coming through from Hanzo. Portal's up, but what's that portal for? There's no way to engage on this.
By Hero. Cocoon smart there just for the defense, but the protection is there. So Divine Shield, Greymane dives in, but lacking damage. There's the Mosh Pit.
And that's going to be last rights, helping to finish off KCB. This might just be game G-Clap as Gamey caught here, denied from exiting the portal here. He does get the temporary relief there from the Medivh shield, but it's not going to be enough. Heals coming through here from Gamey, but Modern Life, he gets low, does teleport away. Witcher gets 1 kill here with Hero. Another power slide, though, going to stun everybody, and Dudu's untouched in the back line, doing so much damage. And now Rush going to be the last to fall. All they have to do is walk over to this altar, channel it, and the game will end. BlossoM is going to take the series 3-0, our first series of the evening.
Impressive game. Impressive run and macro decision by BlossoM. They were able to find all the mistakes that Ace was doing and focus on that weak link. Not just the weak link, the macro, how they controlled over the map. Of course, there was an entire team wipe, but they knew, even if they lost the team wipe, all they had to do is 1 more core shot, and they would win the game. Impressive work when they were below the experience, below 16. They were behind, just keeping that bell tower. Right when they hit 16, that's when they started to chase. Knowing the timing, having a lot more experience about the game, really showed in Game 3.
BlossoM looks like an elite force. Can they break into top 3? Not yet, but there's always the chance they'll be able to continue to channel this level of play, this performance into more successful finishes in regular season as we move into Season 2. But here are our score screen. Here's our score screen. Here's our match summary. 50k damage nearly for Dudu on the Hanzo. But this is really just a series of coordination. There's mistakes from Ace. They had that one team fight that they won, but beyond that, they were just outclassed in terms of macro rotations, understanding of controlling zones. Decisive play was never there until that one fight they took at the bot bell tower. Besides that, For the entire series, they played scared, they played nervous, the coordination just isn't there. They cannot be running these Medivh comps until they're ready to do it. It's just too difficult. It just is not working.
Yeah, they have way too many struggles, problems within the draft that does not really let them play the best of what they can do. And just following the meta, but not really adjusting to their own play style. I think that's one thing that they have to start on doing. Picking Uther before the second ban phase, of course, it was banned last game. So maybe they were thinking that should have been picked highly, but they lost Diablo because of that. So grabbing a Nubarak and has to go into Polybomb, it really disrupts what the entire theme, what you try to do with the Medivh. Did work a little bit after the Circle of Protection with the Grey main, but you are really pushing far with the Medivh, what you can do. And that big portal mistake at the end, you couldn't really let that Anubarak retreat along with your teammate and ended up losing a lot more.
Yeah, I think that the Anubarak pick was really weird. You want to have a tank that's really strong but immobile when you have Medivh, like Diablo. And if you have a really mobile tank, half the time he's probably just going to be going from a different angle than your portals anyways, because he can go from whatever angle he wants with his burrow charge. Why would he want to limit himself to your portals? A little bit weird. Sometimes you get the double with the Nubarak, where Nubarak's like far away, he burrow charges in, and then you get to the portal and he gets massive distance, sure, but I don't know. I feel like you're looking for a stronger, beefier tank here. Even an Arthas, I think, might have been a better pick, all things considered. But that's it. That's the 3-0 for BlossoM. Total dominant fashion. No Phoenix in this series banned all 3 games. We saw the adaptation of the Tracer ban over the ETC ban. ETC ended up being a very strong pick for Gondar against the portals, actually, just really shutting those down with his face melts or anything else. But guys, remember we do have KSV Black versus Ballistic as our second series of the night. We're going to have an interview and stuff before that after our first series, but this is just the first one.
A dominant one too by BlossoM, showing that they were the Eastern Clash team. They went there. They were 4th place, of course, behind all the other Korean teams, but really showing what they were able to accomplish. And what a different team they are compared to last year. They have upgraded. They are almost following, not just following, leading up the meta, bringing some crazy strategies that work. They're one of the first teams to actually use Medivh in Korea. Of course, that was used a lot more in the other region. Even before the rework, BlossoM used it and made it work against the stronger teams. That's one of the things that when you talk about BlossoM, you always think about the brilliant mind from which the crazy brain that the master brain that we always say.
And now, you've got to look at Modern Life's hero pool. He's played in Part 2 alone 20 different heroes. Or actually, that's all of Season 1. Last year, he played 30 different heroes. So the guy's got some flexibility.
I'm pretty sure you guys can see this. Nope.
You can see it like right there.
The long one is modern.
Yeah.
The long one.
He's got a lot of heroes played. It's extensive.
Yes.
So 30 heroes last year, 20 at least in the first half of this year. That flexibility plus the intelligent mind of Wiz plus Modern Life's improvement in terms of impact. Now that he's no longer just playing the weird off lane, he's actually playing like really flexible DPSs like his Maev